Check, check, check. Today on First Cup, we've got some stuff that you all submitted. I've got some brand new apparel that I haven't even taken out of the box. I'll tell you about my day yesterday. Stick around. We're rolling in 15. All right. Coffee's good. Coffee's always good. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is Thursday. It is January 13th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good morning, Tommy. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning to all of you, whether you are watching live later or perhaps listening. Thank you for joining me. This is First Cup. This is the Martial Arts Morning Show. I'm not aware of any other martial arts themed morning show. Do we talk exclusively about martial arts? No. We talk about martial arts and we talk about life and we talk about our days and we support each other, and it's kind of a nice place to be. I don't have to be here, and I am. I've been here every day, pretty much every weekday for 3.5 years. Good morning, Jenny. How was your Wednesday? My Wednesday went really well. So there's something I've noticed about myself, and this was something on Tuesday that I made note to take care of. I've talked about The Office. It's this mystical room behind that wall that you can't see. It's a very small room. It was a second bedroom. And it was getting cluttered and messy and dusty, and I didn't want to be in there. And I on some level, was resenting having to work in there. But on Tuesday, when I was doing interviews, I said, it would take me like 20 minutes to really clean this up. So let's just do it. And I did. I did it yesterday morning. And it's probably my favorite room in the house now because it's so clean. And there are no more piles. Everything's got a place. And I moved stuff out of there that didn't need to be in there. I don't know where that stuff's going. But you ever do that? You ever find yourself saying, well, this doesn't really go here. I'll put it over here. And then a few weeks or months later, you're like, it doesn't really go here either. But you don't want to get rid of it. I'm doing that with probably the world's cheapest shelf. It's not a very good shelf. It's adjustable. It's compressed wood and plastic, something I got on Amazon years ago. I don't know. I don't like getting rid of stuff. I'm afraid I might need it. I'm not afraid, but what if I need it? Right. Good morning, Jenny and Andrew and Dennis. Hey, Mel, show up? I don't know. Look at all my friends. It's Thursday. Oh, what else did I do? So here's a fun thing, and it's kind of nice that Andrew is here because he gets to hear this. I didn't tell him this last night. So we have a bunch of people who will be at an event in Atlantic City, New Jersey, hosted by Alan Goldberg, Sifu Alan Goldberg. He's been on the show, really nice guy, puts on a pretty cool event. It is as part of this event that my next superfoot testing will occur. And there's a bunch of stuff, and I've managed to secure past guests. Andrew is coming with me. We're meeting other folks. It's going to be a good time. But Saturday night, I said, hey, let's all dress up. And I had a vision for what I wanted to wear, primarily around this suit that I own. And I said, there are a couple things a couple accessories I'd like to tack onto this. And so I had to go to the post office, went to the post office, swung up to Kohl's, found both of the things I wanted. They fit right on clearance. I was like, this is amazing. How often does that happen? Pretty cool. Daniel asked, are you going to be one of those people they find one day buried in 12 tons of their own stuff because they didn't like getting rid of stuff just in case? I ride that line sometimes. The stuff is not in here. The stuff is organized. It is in various boxes and crates. And remember, I have 2 garages, one of which is 2 stories. There's a lot of stuff. If I had to move and bring all of my stuff, I would undoubtedly be filling a 26-foot truck. Like, no question in my mind. It's a lot of stuff. I don't like having stuff around me. I appreciate like a minimal vibe, and it's a constant balance between that and utility. I look out there. I set up some new shelves over there, which are much more minimal. I put plants on them. I'm much happier. But the old hardwood end tables that I was using as plant stands, those are out in the warehouse. I have a literal warehouse. I use it as a literal warehouse. It's going to happen. Good morning, Andy. If I didn't say that. Andrew says, I'm excited for Atlantic City, even if I don't get to wear my kilt. Good morning, Brian. So that was yesterday. It was a good day. Came back, made some dinner. Today, we've got a new episode out, new episode of Martial Arts Radio, episode 675. It's another Q&A. If you aren't catching the Q&As live, you're missing out. But then again, we don't always know exactly when we're going live, so we don't tell everyone. It just kind of happens. But it still has that fun vibe of a live show. You can catch the video on YouTube. If you just want the audio, that's in your podcast feed. The guys are everybody's giving Andrew a hard time about not wearing a kilt. I didn't tell him he couldn't wear it. I didn't. Well, that's a great question. Do people have suggestions for episode 700? If you do, drop it in the chat. There's one thing that I want to suggest, because the degree of playfulness that comes through with this is unclear, right? Andrew and I had a conversation. The folks telling Andrew to wear a kilt, do you know the circumstances? Do you know the situation under which he should or should not wear a kilt? What if it involves being outside for a good degree of time? What if any number of things? I find it interesting that our instinct, and I'm picking on this situation and those of you here. This likely applies to you in very small degree, but we see this all over the place. There are martial arts organizations which will remain nameless, and they post these comments. If you could compete with only one kick, what would it be? And people answer. And my response is, what are the rules? What are the circumstances? If you don't know the when and the where and the why, how can you make a choice? So, in a teasing way, why are you suggesting Andrew wear a kilt when you don't know the circumstances? Brian says, good degrees, kilt. Bad degrees, temperature. Kilt and long johns. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Kelly. We're all going to look good. I guess that's the gist. If you have questions for one of these Q&As, you should let Andrew know. You can email him, andrew@whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. I don't know about them ahead of time, and I find that fun. We're probably going to do at least a little bit of recording in Atlantic City. I don't know how much. Hey, guess what came in the mail yesterday? An order from the company that we use to make all of our stuff, all of our apparel. I'm laughing because Andrew says, I can't stress enough how much I'm kidding. And everybody's like, no, you have to wear the kilt now. Andrew, I think you have to send them all pictures of you wearing a kilt. You ready? These are the whistlekick flip-flops. I think Frank was the first person to grab a pair of these, and he said that they were pretty decent. So I grabbed a pair. And I'll be able to tell you, ooh, they smell. Those will air out. Okay, this is funny. So Jenny says, Matt says, there should be a whistlekick suit that you guys can wear. Designed like the pullover Olympic-style Taekwondo uniform. Looks like a tux, has the whistlekick logo for the tie, and a big old belt buckle that looks like a black belt. That's hysterical. Good morning, Linda. So those flip-flops, those are something like $20, $22 before your discount. And I got a couple shirts here. So for those of you who, most of you wouldn't know this, the tour shirt is up. And one of the things that I always do, because remember, the tour is based around having a school pay me to bring me. But when you host an event and you're charging people and you're paying to bring somebody in, you're looking for ways to make it profitable. I'm not going to bring around piles of tour shirts, but a school could take pre-orders. The school could then order them from our website at a substantial discount. Sell them. If you've ever been to a concert, etc., you know people will spend $30, $40, $50 for a shirt. Well, here's version 1 of the tour shirt. Just the tour logo on front. And this is already out of date. So what's fun about this is that as we add more dates, the back will get updated. So if anybody wants to order this shirt, you will see, hey, this shirt is way more expensive than other shirts. Which means you got to get to a tour location to be able to pre-order or order, or in the case of last weekend with Craig and Paul, I'm going to send them a discount code that they can send to everybody, or they can choose to buy them themselves and then distribute them. Either way. Jenny says, too late. The chat has control now. We are taking it and running with it. Hey, does that mean you're going to do all my work? And I wasn't sure how this would look. In the images, it looks okay. It's really not. This is blue with black ink. It's the same ink. It's just, you kind of got to look at it in reflection. Black on navy. So I'm probably going to pull this one down from the website, but that's okay. You know? You try things. Although I really do like the contrast of the Phoenix Rising heading, the blue on the blue. So, you know where my laundry goes? Right there, because the washing machine's right there. We'll just throw it out there. Tommy says, I love my 3/4 sleeve whistlekick shirt. Wear it teaching all the time. I like that shirt. That's a great shirt. We've printed a bunch of things on that shirt. You know, one of the things that we're being a little more conscious of this year is what shirt we print things on. You know, the company has a bajillion options. And historically, I've just gone to the one that has the most color choices and given people as many color choices as possible, which has overwhelmed people and they haven't always purchased. So we're being a little more selective and saying, hey, you can get it on like these 3 or 4 colors. And in doing that, it means we have more choices on the shirt underneath. And I try to get comfy shirts. Nobody wants to wear an uncomfy shirt. Oh, I cut my hair. Can you see? Cut my hair. And am I bald on top? You can't see that in the mirror, but camera, screen, that's fun. Got a new thing going, keeping the beard right on my chin a little longer. All right. I think that's it, except for what you all gave me. What did you give me to talk about today? Let's see. I tagged a bunch of you in the post, and and it looks like we got comments from 3 of you. So yay! All right. All right. Thank you to Frank, as always, Dennis, and Tommy for your submissions. We'll start off with this one from Frank. Norm Macdonald on why he didn't like the saying quote, lost his or her battle with cancer. I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if you die, the cancer dies at the same time. That's not a loss, that's a draw. That, I like that. Cancer's job is to survive. Any cell's job is to survive, first and foremost. Right? Infections, virus, bacteria, the job is to survive. It tries not to kill the host, because if it does, it's not going to replicate. Kelly says, I think you missed a spot. Where? Now I'm not sure if she's teasing. Where did I miss? I don't see it. Unless you're suggesting that I don't shave to the skin. I don't use a blade. I use clippers because it takes way less time. And my skin is much happier about it. Okay, next. Dennis says, it's an oldie but a goodie. If you could try anything new and not fail, what would you do? There are a handful of things that are in the back of my mind that would be interesting to try. Strangely enough, one of them, singing. I've actually downloaded one of those apps that teaches you to sing, and my ability to match pitch is decent, surprisingly decent, even when I first started with it. I wonder if I had the time, what I could do with a vocal coach, like a singing coach. I think that would be interesting. And it's never too late. I'm not saying I can't or won't, but it's not a priority. I've also been wondering recently, and these aren't so much things that, well, I guess failure is quite relevant. Learning to fly a plane and a helicopter. A helicopter interests me more than a plane. The physics on a plane are pretty straightforward. Go fast enough, create enough lift, and you're off the ground. But a helicopter has so much more going on. The lift, the rotation, anti-rotation. And I know way more people who fly planes than fly helicopters. So learning to fly a helicopter would be kind of neat. And again, it's never too late. Maybe I will try those things. But I don't know if I would be comfortable trusting myself in a helicopter. I trust myself in a car. I'm a pretty darn good driver, so I bet I could figure it out. I bet I could learn. I wouldn't just go up and figure it out. Oh, what are these? Daniel says, when do we get the singing demo? All right. True story. Twice ever, I have had people compliment me on my singing. You know where? Take a guess. You're never going to guess. Synagogue. I don't think it's so much that I can sing. I think it's that very few people belting out prayers in Hebrew can sing. That's what I think it is. Tommy says, I can't sing. Ask everyone. Come to practice sometime. There are good reasons why I play drums in church and not sing. I want to do everything. I really do. For a long time, my vision, because we think, what would life look like if we were just really wealthy? My vision of being really wealthy is trying everything. I would love to try selling cars. I think that would be interesting. I think I would learn a lot. I think it would be frustrating and fun, but if I don't need to worry about making money, the frustration is mostly gone. I've appreciated when I've had people come and help build stuff, like my buddy Joey, when we put in that door and the deck on the back. And I worked with him and I was very clear with him. I don't care if my helping you makes it take as long or even a little longer, because I want to learn some stuff. And I've learned a tremendous amount working with him. And I even volunteered. He and his wife just bought a house. I said, look, if there are ways I can be helpful, I will trade you my labor for knowledge. I will come swing hammers. I want to learn with you. And that's my approach to just about everything. If there's something I can do where I can learn, I'll do it. I've thought about learning, getting my CDL, my commercial driver's license, because then there are so many more vehicles I could drive. I like driving things. Dennis says, in Atlantic City, Jeremy and the Kilts are performing live. So interestingly enough, I've done karaoke a few times. The problem with karaoke is it requires me to be inebriated enough that I have no idea what's going on. It is a very high bar for me to sing around people, like very high bar. Not happening. And Jenny says, Dennis, that is the comment of the morning. I would agree. Daniel, take me down to Atlantic City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Well, right now, I don't even think there's much grass on a good day in the summer in Atlantic City. And I will say, because we're at casinos and there's a little bit of selection bias there, the women tend to be attractive. All right. And then the last comment question here, I'm going to make a small modification. Tommy says, how has our personal discipline or our personal disciplines as martial artists helped or maybe hindered us since this thing that's been going on for almost 2 years? When I think about what my approach to martial arts has led to as I explore this kind of new world, a lot of independence, a lot of self-reliance, a lot of attempt for understanding, and I think a lot of patience, right? Like I can't punch a virus in the face, but the skill sets that I've developed from training have really come in handy. There are a lot of people who are really struggling right now, and I am not so much as I was. The months of April and May of 2020 were really hard for me. But I made it through. And I've kind of found the space for where I need to be. I think when I look at the people that I know personally who are doing okay and the ones who are not, the ones who are doing okay are approaching what's happening in the same way that they might approach a fight drill, some kind of self-defense drill, right? Your anxiety is up, but you do your best to mitigate it, and you focus on what you can control. If there are three people, if I'm in the midst of a scenario where three people are attacking me, I can't turn to the instructor and say, well, I don't like that there are three people. You need to take two of them away. It doesn't work that way, right? There are plenty of things going on I can't control. I can complain about them. Some of them I do. I complain about them to friends privately. But it comes, I actually had, thank you again to Jenny, because this is a constant reminder. I had tea in this mug yesterday. Actually, no, bone broth at dinner. Do what you can with what you have where you are. There's a root philosophy in Buddhism that says pain comes from not accepting life as it is, wanting it to be different. I think we all want things to be different, but we have to accept where we are. There are so many things going on that are beyond our control. So we manage what we can control and accept the rest. That's what I have learned through martial arts, or in part due to martial arts. And that's something I have applied to my everyday life. There are people who have different visions of what keeps them safe, and they have asked me to do things to keep them safe that I don't think are necessary, but I still do them. There are places that I choose to not go now. There are a lot of things that I can control, and I just focus on those things. Tommy says patience. There it is. Yeah. Because what's the alternative? To invest a tremendous amount of money worrying and stressing? It's not helpful. It's not healthy. It doesn't get me anywhere. There are people, friends that I know that I don't know how else to say it. I feel sorry for them because they invest a significant amount of their time and energy being scared, being worried. I'm a take action person. I will not say these things publicly because one is discouraged from saying these things publicly. But there are many actions that can be taken to reduce risk. Most of them have to do with improving health, quality of immune system. A lot of them are actually in the book, or actions in the book lead to those things. And if you have a good handle, here's a great analogy. Okay, best analogy, and then we're gonna wind down. I'm assuming most of you have been through some manner of martial arts testing before. You had a date where you had to prepare, and you reached that date, and then things happen, and there was success or failure based on that. If you've been training long enough and been through a number of those, you have had some variance in how prepared you felt. I've had testings where I was like, I've got this, and I go into it incredibly confident. I've had others where I was a little less confident because of a variety of reasons, usually other things stealing priority. If I go into something feeling prepared, feeling confident, I'm not as worried. And I always look for methods that give me that feeling in any given situation, literally any situation. Everything from if I'm going to go on a first date to I'm going to go out in public to I'm going to travel to New Jersey. Do you think the things in my car when I drive to New Jersey are exactly the same as the things in my car when I drive 15 miles round trip to the gym? Not a chance. I want to feel confident. What do I bring when I go to New Jersey? Bunch of water, because I don't want their chlorinated water. I bring some food with me. I bring a number of changes of clothes that would apply across a variety of temperatures and weather conditions. Right? I was the wannabe Boy Scout who, in that sense, not only didn't grow up, but has more and more embraced that mindset. When everybody was scrambling for toilet paper, I bought a bidet seat. And one of you in the chat bought one in part because I suggested it. Haha. So there we go. Tommy, I'm not sure if that's the sort of answer you were looking for, but if not, post a follow-up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and I'm excited. Few reminders. We do still have some slots open for All In Weekend. I will let all of you know now. Andrew and I did record an episode on All In Weekend. I am fully expecting, because that episode is going to hit a whole different demographic of people than, say, First Cup, than other things that we do, that we have promoted. I'm expecting to sell out very closely after the release of that episode because of what it is, price, and who it's going to. So those of you watching, listening, if All In Weekend is on your radar, I would suggest you not wait. Two other things to say about it. There are payment plans available on the website through Shopify Pay. But if that will not work for you for some reason, I need you to let me know. I think I can say this for Andrew. We want to make sure that the right people are there. And if we have to find creative ways financially, we will. Okay. If you want to grab something, your code does not work on All In Weekend because we've made it the bottom of the barrel price. If you want to get something like this limited edition First Cup mug at whistlekick.com, you can use the code FirstCup15 to get 15% off that or anything else. If you want to host me for a seminar, let me know. If you are already hosting me for a seminar and you want to get involved on the shirts thing, let me know. We'll figure all that out. Dennis says, All In Weekend karaoke. I'm going to lead towards no, but I'm not going to say no. Okay, you guys are ridiculous. Daniel says, coming back to the stress part in tests, I've had tests that I canceled because I was so stressed over them. Low rank tests that nobody ever fails. I ended up speaking with someone about it and took his advice, and now I won't sweat the small stuff or try not to. There's a lot of well, thank you, Tommy. There's a lot of discussion about bidets now in here. Wow, you guys are crazy. And I love y'all for it. Okay. Other things you can do to support if you value what we're doing. patreon.com/whistlekick. And the whole list I updated, was it yesterday or the day before, I updated stuff at whistlekick.com/family. If you want to see, that's right, that's what I did put up. Okay. These are pictures that have never been seen before in the Whistlekick context. I'm not saying you have to go to whistlekick.com/family, but you probably should. And if you have questions or comments, leave them on the Facebook page, facebook.com/firstcupofjeremy. If you don't do Facebook, email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. But you can catch it later. You just miss out on the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.